What's up? This is Adam from Play PS5, and I want to run down the 5 Sony accessories that you can purchase along with your PS5 and tell you which ones I actually think are worth purchasing. So, to begin, let's talk about my least favorite of the accessories, and that would be the media remote. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no issues with it. It's pretty nifty, handy, and it does some things extremely well. For example, obviously, it has a fast forward, rewind, play, pause buttons right there at your fingertips. It obviously is going to work well with the console, and then it can adjust TV settings and do a couple other things that are quite nice. But let's be honest, you are purchasing a next gen, first of its kind controller that pretty much can do everything that the media remote can. Granted, media remote, say you want to watch Netflix, you hit that button and you're there. With the controller, you obviously got to turn the controller on and then you got to scroll to the Netflix app. But honestly, the few seconds you're saving by just hitting that button on the media remote isn't worth the $29.99 price tag to me. So that's why it's my least favorite of the accessories offered. Okay, next on the list is the HD camera, and this allows for dual lenses that provide 1080p capture, and obviously it works seamlessly with the console. There's a built-in stand, and there's actually the thing I find most impressive and kind of cool is that there's a background removal tool that will take your background out and put you in the foreground of your gameplay when you're streaming. That I think is an extremely nice touch. But let's be honest, at least for me, the camera, the biggest thing about that is it will allow you to play virtual reality. So we don't know much about the PSVR 2. We don't really know much at all. But assuming they stick with the camera option in terms of tracking and how the whole headset will work, you're going to need that camera and it is a must. So if you don't stream, and you don't like virtual reality, that's really where I don't know what this camera is really going to provide for you, which is why it's this low on the list. But if you have a PSVR now, the first version, there's going to be an adapter that you can use your old camera for some of the older games. So it's not necessarily a must have right now. And for all I know, Sony may not use the camera for PSVR 2. We don't know. But if it does, you're going to have this camera. And so, with those two caveats, that's why this is only fourth on the list of accessories that I recommend you pick up. All right, next on the list is the Pulse 3D wireless headset. And 3D audio has been something that Sony has been pushing since almost day one. And even as a PSVR fan, I understand how much 3D audio can enhance the gaming experience. So I love the technology, but we don't exactly know how it's going to be implemented in flat games. For example, one of the first presentations, they were talking about way over the top technical specs and head sizes and distances from the TV and all this stuff that we really didn't need to know. And so what we do know about the headphones is they're wireless, they're noise canceling, there are two hidden microphones, there's easy access controls, and it does use a little dongle that you just put in a USB on the PS5. They supposedly last 12 hours on a single charge, but the big thing for me is that they're $99.99. So it's $100, which makes it hard for me personally to recommend. But if you're big on music or you really have faith in Sony and their 3D audio technology, they may be worth springing for. All right, so we are getting into almost must have category here. And my second most recommended pre-order accessory would be the charging station for your DualSense. So who the heck wants to plug their DualSense into the PS5 every time they want to charge it? No one, exactly. No one has time for that. No one wants to do that. So you got to have a charging station. And honestly, the only reason I even hesitated to put it this high on the list was the fact that we all know there's going to be third-party developers that are going to come out with products that will be cheaper, that will still allow you to charge your DualSense controller. The Sony version does cost $29.99, but it has some positives. First thing, you get it day one. It allows charging of two controllers, and it really matches the modern aesthetics of the PS5. So if this is going to be on display, if you're a big fan of how the whole game setup looks, this is going to be the thing you want because it will inevitably look better than any of the others. Also, from what I've been seeing, this is the first accessory to fly off the shelves and become out of stock. So if there is some still available where you have your pre-order, I strongly recommend you go ahead, pre-order it with your PS5 and don't look back. My most recommended accessory, as should come to no surprise, you knew it was coming, is an extra DualSense controller. Let me tell you why. It's very simple. Haptic feedback, dynamic adaptive triggers, built-in microphone, better battery, motion sensors, integrated speaker, and an easy-to-use create button which replaces the old share button. Just imagine playing Hitman 3 and as you walk up behind an enemy, you grab a piano wire and you wrap it around their neck, and as you begin strangling them, they are obviously fighting, and those adaptive triggers start causing you to tighten up, and you have to use more force on the controller to get the job done. Sorry, that is a really graphic example, but you know what? It's a good one, and you know it's a good one, and that's what you do in Hitman, and it's immersive, and it's next gen, and it's incredible. Also, imagine you have a PS5. You're going to be the talk of the town. Your friends are going to come over because they want to see what does next gen look like, and imagine having to take turns playing different games because you don't have two controllers. Don't be that person unless you have to be. I do know that it's $69.99, but here's the thing. That price isn't going to lower at any point, and these things are going to last for years, and so it is absolutely worth the investment. So I want to thank you for watching the video. Check out Play PS5, the podcast, for new news and gaming and a ton of fun. We absolutely love the support. Below, tell me what is your most highly anticipated accessory, which ones have you purchased, and which ones do you think will be worth it the most. Thanks for watching. Happy playing. See you next time.